Alright. So this is a mobile stream. This way I can maybe see chat. We don't really have room for the laptop in here today. But yeah, oh yeah, you know what? Like, Also, we're doing laundry, so what up, Grandmaster? Oh, nice to see you. Sorry. Okay, let's do this. So I have StreamerBot on, but I also am not streaming from OBS or anything, so just keep that in mind. We cannot Zoom, so I'm gonna have to manually bring y'all up if I need to bring you up. But we're going to make curry from canned vegetables. So my mom qualifies for senior food distributions, and these happen to come in today's box. So that's what we're going to be using. Okay. But we're going to be adding an onion. One recipe said mackerel, which, to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever had curry with fish. So I'm really intrigued, but we're not going to do that. We're not gonna, I'm not brave enough to do that, so we're not gonna. But it was also asking for ketchup, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can use Jufron, but why don't we use the ketchup packets like we did last time? Let me get some ketchup packets out. Ketchup. The ketchup portion will come way later, but you know how you go anywhere out to eat and it's like a burger or fries or something that, you know, makes common sense to have ketchup with. A lot of ketchup packets. So we used so many of these with the meatloaf that we made also from canned foods that were in the food distribution, those gigantic cans of beef. So anyway, in case you're new here or unfamiliar, I like to make the most of what we have, right? So I don't know how people use the word min-max or whatever, but I believe in being resourceful. I know a lot of people like to flex and waste money. Live your life however you want to be, but like there's a war that no one asked for, there's tariffs. You know what I mean? Or like extra tariffs, because tariffs just mean taxes. But there's a lot of various reasons why we should, I don't know, be resourceful and don't waste money you really don't need to waste. Like if you don't need to waste it, right? Did she just throw out this whole ass onion? That's so fucking annoying. Um, but yeah, we need to start with this onion because this onion needs to get cut. So let's just gently turn this light around. Okay. Let me. I don't hear StreamerBot. StreamerBot's been making noise for the most part, but I don't hear it right now. So that was part of the reason why I kept. I don't know if I should just turn off on StreamerBot. Now I can hear streamer bot, so that's good. I can hear streamer bot from here, so I can know to like, do I need to look at some shit? Did somebody say something? Oh my gosh! What up, Steffi? I know the stove looks extra delicious. Oh, I made So this is, I know it might not look the most appealing to some people, but this is like that Maxwell House coffee, whatever the fuck bullshit. And then I added banana monin and cinnamon. It's the monin had a recipe for like a banana Foster's latte. And I'm not trying to fuck with milk right now because like my stomach and my asshole feel a certain way, but it's tasty enough. So anyway, but yeah, let's start with this onion. It looks like my mom chopped up an onion earlier and like discarded all of it. When to me this looks usable, but whatever. I really hate when people are wasteful, but pop off, I suppose. So, there. Okay. That's what I had noticed about being resourceful. That a lot of people are just really wasteful. Some people really flex like, oh, I spent this much money on ABCD when it's like you could have just done something else. Or in the case of my mom, she wastes things and it's just like, why did you do that? Lighting. Okay. So sometimes people don't want to use like the kind of rougher part of when you slice up an onion. And typically I fucking don't. But today is the day that we're not giving a fuck about that. Today we're not giving a fuck about that. But usually I would not because like it doesn't really like it does get soft, but not really. So if you're trying to wilt or like make the onion softer, it's usually not gonna work for the slightly tougher. Oh, sorry. Part of the I don't know if you can really because I can't zoom. But you see how it's kind of like not as smooth and kind of like if we were talking about skin, it looks kind of dry. Um Typically that part of the onion, not that great for cooking. It's not gonna hurt you. It's just unpleasant, right? It's not the most pleasant experience, but it's not completely terrible. Now, if you're eating it raw, probably not a great experience. You know, I wouldn't recommend that. But if you're cooking it out, um, it's typically like not the greatest, but it's not the worst. So it kind of just depends on you that day. If you feel like you don't want to fuck with that shit, then don't fuck with that shit. But if you're okay with it, and you're like, yeah, well, you know, this onion needs to get used, then use it, you know? The onion was a little leaky. That's fine. I don't care. Okay, so I'm keeping that part on, its little head or butt, however you want to, whatever it. And I'm going to make some downward up and down slices. I didn't go all the way through. And then I'm gonna be real careful to not slice my fingers. And we're gonna go the perpendicular way, mathwards. And then we're gonna go down again. And down again. See, so the this side was like that dry, not great side. It's also kind of hard to cut through. So that's also part of the unpleasant experience. So just, you know what I mean. And then I'm gonna do it the same over here. So I'm gonna try to go straight up and down the best I can. while keeping this guy in there. And I'm not necessarily trying to match it with the other side. Also, I might need to sharpen the knife. That could also be part of the problem. But you know what I mean? I was about to say, I know my laundry is not done. And then perpendicular again, doing our best to not injure ourselves because we don't want that. Right? So, and then down, like straight down again, so that you're trying to just kind of make, I don't know, kind of squarish type of slices. And then here's the part that was all connected. We're just gonna slice through. I'm not gonna try too hard with that. We're gonna let that go, okay? So I'm just gonna use 1 onion for my situation because we're using these canned veggies, and I feel like that'll be good. Do I want to use meat? I mean, I do, but I'm also not like, I'm not like super hung up on using meat though right now. So I don't know. So I'm going to show you the 2 recipes that we're referencing. Both of them have onions, okay? So I was looking at how to make curry roux. So if you want to make those cubes that you see at the Japanese store, the Asian store, you know, the golden whatever the fuck, if you want to make that, oh wait, sorry, meatloaf, my bad. Wait, hello? Oh, did I switch? Okay, hold on. I put it into, what the fuck? This is one of the meatloaf recipes that we referenced last time. This is the Japanese person recipe, and then there was a Filipino jardinera recipe that we were referencing, so I was like combining 2 recipes that time. But, here we go. This is if you want to make those cubes, and you don't necessarily want to get the ones from the store, you want to make the ones that you see at the store. This is that. We're not doing that. I thought about it. But we're not doing that. And if you don't know, now you know. It is AANHPI month. Some people say AAPI month. Some people say the whole thing. I say the whole thing. So, just a reminder, we exist year-round outside of May, and for Filipinos, October. So just, you know, keep that in mind when you think about Asian people and think about us outside of Mahjong, a very Chinese time of your life, which is both just commodification of our shit. When the US has a really long history of xenophobia and xenophobia. So xenophobia is Sinophobia. That is specific to Chinese people. Right? And then xenophobia is like America, how it treats anyone who's darker than white. Okay? That's xenophobia. But xenophobia is very specific to Chinese people, and there was the Chinese Exclusion Act. There's the Alien Land Rights Act. Is that how I was supposed to say it? White women were able to vote in the early 1900s, but the rest of us couldn't vote, even though some of us were fighting for it, and not white women, until the 1960s. So some of our parents came after the 60s, so they were not familiar with the civil rights struggle, right? Because they came here after that. And/or they ignored what black people were doing, right? They were fucking racist, right? Some of our parents are fucking racist. But you know what I mean? Just, there was Asian and black solidarity in the civil rights movement, but a lot of our families, mine included, came after all of that. Like, so, and they're racist. So just, you know what I mean? Just a lot of things to consider for Asian American, Pacific, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander month. Okay? Just think about it. Because y'all think we're cool now because K-pop and kimchi and all that shit. But there was a time when everybody accused us of eating dog and said our food was smelly and gross and said that eating with our hands is nasty. When white people have a history of not washing their hands. So, I want everyone, I want everyone to think about that during Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander month, because white people said some fuck ass shit about us for a really long time, and now they think it's okay to commodify our shit and make money off of it. So I really need you to think about that. Okay? And it's not just us that they commodify our culture and do some fuck ass shit with. They do it to Mexican people. They do it to black people with music and hair. Everybody who's wearing a hairstyle that they really shouldn't be wearing. You know what I mean? Like, America does some really fuck ass shit to people, commodifies their culture, or says they do it better, and then shits on the original people that thing originated from, be it music or food or art or whatever. They still don't see us as human beings or whatever. You know what I mean? Very problematic. Think about that during Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander month. I need water. So I am going to put the broth from the can into a jar because I got a really cool idea from Eat It Dad's, who is not an Asian person, but is very aware of their privilege existing as a white male in America. Um, he said that he keeps like the water, like if it's packed in water, he keeps the water from like cans of vegetables and shit like that. And I was like, for broth later. And I was like, oh my God, that's such a good idea. That's such a good idea. Usually you're not going to say personal information, are you? Okay, sorry. Did anyone say anything? I was assisting my mom with a digital wallet situation. Until POC showed him. Oh shit, what did I miss? Yeah, wasn't it white people? Yeah, wasn't it white people that used to not? Yeah, they France had perfumes because they didn't shower and they just threw their wastewater in the street. You know? Like how we got perfume is actually kind of fucked if you kind of look into it. So, uh oh wait, I need a where did I put the fuck? I don't know if that has to go with the naming mechanism where it's like convention, sorry. Eau de toilette. You know? Kind of interesting to think about. Um, all right. So again, I'm gonna drain the water from this vegetable stuff into a jar so we can use it for broth later. So now it's got carrots and potato juice flavor, right? So if I ever need vegetable broth, we got it. Ew, the toilet. Yeah. Imagine throwing your feces in the street. You know what I mean? Like, kind of weird. But to each their own, I guess. And then, what is it? When the French went to fucking Vietnam, they were throwing like coins out because they were, I don't know, weird moral superiority bullshit. Ugh. But they're the ones who didn't want to wash all the time. And it's like, when when people were birthing babies, when the white folks were birthing babies, they didn't wash their hands after treating other people that might have had the plague or something like that. At some point, they were like, oh, maybe we should wash our hands because they saw other people wash their hands when they were doing medical procedures, people that were not white. Then they're like, oh, maybe we should do that. Less people died. Wow. What a concept, washing hands. And there's still a lot of white people that don't wash their legs. I also have a friend that doesn't wash her legs, and I try not to say anything about it because, like, I think it's weird, but whatever. Because it's like, if you wash your hands and you wash your hair and you wash your face, and you know what I mean? Like, washing your legs is different from just letting the soap drip down. It's one thing if you're disabled and you're having some dexterity issues. It's another thing if you have a full range of movement and you're not using your hands and arms to wash your legs. Because that's a choice. So, they don't wash their legs? Okay, that's where. Okay. I want you to, like, go onto Black Instagram anytime they're talking about washing legs. Because they're definitely always talking about palm colored people. There are some people who have compilations of like white people saying that they don't wash their legs. It is like so interesting. Like, yeah, like, why would I wash my legs? Ugh, girl, what? Why are you not washing your legs? I'm like, the weird moral superiority, but like the lack of hand washing and the lack of leg washing is kind of like, okay, but all the black and brown people are backward and gross and smelly and you know what I mean? Like, I don't really shower that often, but I'm always washing everything head to toe. Like I'm washing my legs, I'm washing my feet, you know. I come in with washed hands to hear people not washing their hands. Damn. Yeah. There are some white men on the internet that are very proud that they do not wash their hands. And there's some people that are offline that are also very proud that they do not wash their hands or cover their coughs or like sanitize things. And some of it is like weird moral superiority and like white supremacy, but some of it is like they think hygiene is gendered, which is another super weird fucking thing. Like everyone has butt cheeks for the most part, right? Unless something happened, you know, and like you should wash between your butt cheeks, you know. I don't think that's gendered. As a man who loves leg day, how can we not do this? It's not your people though. You know, unless it's like dirty gamer bros, but like because there is like the whole neck beard situation still. I don't even know if people use the word neck beard anymore. Anyway, I mean, I don't. I'm so intrigued by this mackerel thing. Also, phone, why are you so hot, bro? I'm concerned. Okay. So butter, flour. We also don't have mango chutney. I thought it was so interesting that they were asking for mango chutney, but I wonder. That's not the same though. Man, I was looking at mango. I was literally looking at mango chutney the other day. Okay. Ugh. That's the ginger one. God, it's so heavy. All right, so this is neither chutney nor mango. This is like the yuzu tea I really like. It's very heavy with one hand. Um, Also, you know, my grip strength is probably not the best, but you know, it's citrusy. It's kind of like, why not? Right? Why not? Let's try it. I'm gonna eat it anyway. It doesn't matter. So, yeah, so I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I have a streamer friend. Her husband almost died because of COVID. And the main reason why that even happened is that the husband had a coworker at work that they work on these machines that they, you know, have to sanitize, but like the coworker didn't sanitize it, and he was like, he saved it for her husband, saying like, essentially alluding to cleanliness being gendered, and him seeing the husband as, I guess, less of a man or not a man because I don't know, he likes washing his hands, he wears a mask. He's immunocompromised, and so he has to be extra careful at work, obviously, because most people don't give a fuck that COVID is still a thing, right? So because of this uncleanly bastard, and his like lack of hygiene, my friend's husband almost died because this fucking dirty petty ass bitch. What's today? Thursday. Wow, I can't even. It's already Thursday. Wow. I have a funeral I'm trying to go to tomorrow, but if the weather's bad, my mom's like, you shouldn't go. So, because it's in like a different city. Broth, potato, carrot, and then today is, oh, it's May. Whoa, May. Okay. So we're gonna put this in the fridge. The fivers. Oh, wow, thank you. Thanks for that stream streak. Appreciate it. I don't know either, but it's strange either way. Yeah, it's fucking weird that some men think hygiene is gendered. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just kind of like, I'm sure these are men that are confused as to why they're lonely. You know what I mean? Like, no one wants to fuck you with dirty ass hands. No one wants you to finger blast them with nasty ass fingers. Like, we don't want you doing that shit to us. If you can't, you know, that's nasty. So, and if you don't wash your hands, you probably don't wash your mouth. So, that's not an acceptable chair anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I love to sit on a face given the right opportunity. But if you're not hygienic, then that's not safe. And I'm not doing that. So, you know what I mean? Like people will like gladly sit on your face or step on you if that's, your thing. If you treat them like human beings and if you have basic hygiene, at the very least they'll consider it. I think a lot of men just don't know that or something. These aren't the type of guys that will even think about finger blasting being a thing they need to take ownership of anyway. Wait, really? Wait, do guys not like finger blasting? Is that just. Wait, why won't I. Man, let me allow this message! Okay, hold on. I want to allow this message. Why won't it allow me to. Let me allow this fucking. Okay. God. After all the grief Automod was giving me in Lemon's chat with others. Oh my god. I'm very happy that my first message didn't get caught by Automod. Oh no. One of my friends also gets mocked for washing his hands thoroughly, and I always say I'm proud of him. That's so weird. Held for sex words. Okay. Okay, Automod. But yeah, I mean, like, these men don't care about making anyone but themselves feel. Oh. Okay. Well, that sucks. Well, they can make themselves feel good with their nasty ass hands. Ugh. Oh yeah, we need to do this one first. Wait, do they need to be in the big pot? Simmer. Okay, so roux is in the separate pot, veggies in the big pot. So we need to. Oh god, I'm sorry. Twist this lamp again. Yeah. I was first made aware of the lack of leg washing amongst white people by, I don't know, either Black Instagram or something. Something talking about lack of hygiene amongst the white folks when I don't know if it was prompted by like people saying like eating with your hands is nasty, but then people are like they don't wash their legs, so why are they saying anything? Uh you know what I mean? Cuz like that's always like a weird thing or whatever. The South Asians are like they're fucking cosplaying as us right now. I know there was like a thing with Dupata, I think last year, and like I don't know, some Norwegians trying to pass off South Asian clothing as something they invent. You know what I mean? It was clearly very South Asian, and the South Asians were like, "Yo, stop doing that shit." But there have been videos ahead of AANHPI month talking about like more Caucasian, South Asian cosplay. So I was like, well, that is annoying. That's super annoying. So we truly live in a society almost getting people killed with these nasty hands. Yeah. Oh my god. And you know what's sad? I go thrifting a lot and I found some really pretty, I always found really pretty South Asian stuff. Yesterday, especially, I found some silk and I was like, oh my god, bitch, why are you here? Why are you at the thrift? I'm so glad I found you, but I'm also sad that you're here. Why are you here? Um, you know what I mean? Because I always wonder, like, did something happen? You know, Are you just downsizing? Is this not your flavor anymore? I'll be okay if it's not your flavor anymore, but I always think like, what if something happened? Anyway. Meow 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 meow. Okay. So by the way, I have this like shallot flavored oil. So why not? You know what I mean? Just extra oniony flavor. Because that's the type of person I want to be today. Okay. So the carrots and the potatoes are already cooked because they're in a can. They're cooked. That's fine. It is the onions that we need to fuck with for a little bit. And I don't really think I'm going to be adding animal protein to this just because I really don't think I'm okay, I'm sorry. I don't really think I'm gonna. Um I'm really intrigued by this mackerel situation because I don't think I've ever had curry with mackerel. But maybe next time because I just looked up a recipe before we started. So, sorry. Okay, so we're gonna let that hang out and do its thing low and slow. And then I'm gonna start on the spices over here. So, where is it? So this is an option if it's available to you, because not all, I don't know how close you are to Asian grocery stores, right? So this is curry powder. So Japanese curry is different from South Asian curry. Okay, just gonna put it out there. So like Japanese curry is kind of like, I don't know if I want to say appropriation of, but they definitely took something and made it more for Japanese tastes, right? So, the original curry is going to be like South Asian. Okay. So this is Japanese curry. Japanese curry is different from South Asian curry. Straight up. Okay. It's different. Plus with like South Asian curry, there's like wet, there's red, there's yellow, um, there's green, red, yellow, green. Um, I'm not the best expert on that because Mom isn't really into Indian food, and because of that, like, I just haven't had a lot of exposure to South Asian food in general, or like Desi food in general, which is too bad. Yeah, I like stuff with chickpeas, so when I was trying to look up chana, it was really hard because I think I didn't realize chana was chickpeas or something like that. I thought chana masala was like the dish without thinking that it might have just been describing the ingredients that happen to be in there, because there's like roast chickpea recipes, and then there's like the thing I had was more like a soup, right? So like a lot of time I would look up chana and I'd get like roasted snack recipes, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so confused. Oh my god, what am I doing? Um Wait. Oh wait, okay, so not yet. So I don't need to like, okay, wait. Pan, melt the butter and cook the flour. Okay, so let's get the butter. We love butter, okay? Also, thanks everybody for being here. Super appreciate it. Let me get the butter before I try to talk about the other thing I want to talk about. Because I'm Filipino and there are a couple things I need to talk about. Because we have like more immediate pressing 3.5 tablespoons of like stuff going on with my community specifically. Oh my god. Okay. I just realized I ran the washer, but I didn't put the clothing in. We'll do that later. Can't believe I did that. Well, at least the washer is clean now, I guess. Fuck. Okay. Damn. That is a fucked up realization. How many tablespoons is this? You know what? I'm gonna fucking open a brand new steak. Fuck this shit. Oh my god, there was another onion in here. Ugh. There was another onion I could have used. Wow, everything smells really good because I opened that can of curry, but I didn't like put it anywhere. I just have the lid open. God. I love the smell of fucking curry. Okay, 3.5. I also sometimes cook from like a red Thai curry. Because like there is a fitness streamer that used to have recipes on their website, and one of their meal prep recipes involved that red plastic tub of curry. We still have some, so I need to like work it out, you know. 1, 2, 3.5. Not exactly the cleanest cut, but the way they scrape butter when they have butter with toast is fucking weird. So, okay, let's do this. Okay, that's still working. That's, you know, fine. I made esquite, or no, yeah, I did. Sorry. I made esquites yesterday, but not really. So I know I had a can of corn somewhere, which, by the way, technically probably shouldn't use a can of corn. You should use like fresh corn from the cob. You know what I mean? But I had a can of corn somewhere. I don't know where the fuck that is. But I had a can of corn, couldn't find it, and I was like, well, I still want esquites. So if y'all don't know what esquites is, it's like the corn you get in the cup with the cheese and the mayo and the lime and the tahini and the chili. You know what I mean? I mean, if I use tahini, but they probably just use like chili pepper or whatever. So I really enjoy esquites like all year round. Also, easier for me to eat because, to be honest with you, if I have to like eat it off the cob, it's gonna get real messy. And I'm like not a very clean eater. So for me, the cup situation is just like a better form factor, you know what I mean? Especially if you make it at home, because then, you know, you fill the cup as much or as little, and then you have enough room to stir everything without it spilling over. Right? Versus if you get a small, medium, large from the truck, or from, you know, wherever you're getting it from, they're usually filling the cup all the way to the top, which I appreciate. But it's hard to mix. You know what I mean? It's hard to mix everything. So then you know, either get a lot of all the good shit on top and then like barely anything at the bottom, or, you know, or you spill. Anyway, you know, just things. Just things. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and start this butter on the second pan. So this pan is going to be for the roux. Thank you. Because how did curry get to Japan? I think it was a Bangladeshi guy. I think it was a Bengali man who brought it over, and was serving it. I think he had a restaurant or something. I forgot the story, but I think it was a Bengali man who brought it over. And like adjusted it so customers would eat it. So yeah, probably not appropriation, just like adjusting with, and he's Bengali, so like he can't appropriate his own stuff. So, or well, I don't know. There was that one guy, the Momofuku guy, who tried to like cock block everybody out of using like chili oil. Like he tried to copyright chili crisp or chili oil so people couldn't use it without like paying him or whatever. It's kind of like in Europe, somebody tried to trademark. Someone tried to trademark the word pho in Europe somewhere. Stupid. So, but yeah, Momofuku guy is Asian, and he did that to other Asian people because they're like there's Fly by Jing, there's like a bunch of chili crisp companies, and so he was doing cease and desist, or it was either cease and desist or some sort of other like sending a very strongly worded letter to make them not use that, or they would have to pay hefty fines or go to court or all this stuff. And so during AA and HPI month, also don't be like Momofuku guy, because he's a piece of shit. So to like do that to his own people, knowing Europe sounds about right. Yeah. Don't be Momofuku guy, and don't be those people who try to trademark pho or whatever. God, honestly. Add onion, cook, potatoes, carrots. Okay. Potatoes. So let's put all the canned veggies now. Still has liquid, still has liquid. Oil and water, not friends. Oil and water are not friends. Just a reminder, if you didn't already know, now you know. Okay. Anyway, I like all curries. I like all curries. I like Thai curry. I like Japanese curry. I like desi curry. You know, I like curry. I like curry. Um, I like it when there's peanuts. I like it when there's chicken or beef. Um, you know, let me know when you're gonna whatever. And where is the
So eat the egg too, really, at 1:30.
okay? Let me know when you microwave. 6 tablespoons. 6 tablespoons of flour. Okay, I'm gonna just turn this up a little bit. So. Oh, yeah, about Filipino people. God, I already forgot. Okay. So, I think Yakub is still in ICE detention. Yakub Behandre is a Filipino activist, DACA recipient, photojournalist. Uh, there was a post about him recently, so that makes me think he is still in ICE detention, being accused of a terrorist because of various reasons, but he liked a post that was like an Islam prayer or something like that. And it's just like, okay, bro, what the fuck? Because if you guys don't already know, I think Navanos is pretty aware of this. There's all sorts of surveillance on our activity on these apps, right? Because big tech watches everything, including what we like and dislike and what we engage with and blah 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 blah. Right? So he liked a post that was like a prayer. From what it seems, this post was from a nice hijabi lady. So hijab is the head covering that some Muslim women choose to wear. Whether or not you want to veil yourself is, is a choice, right? Okay, 6. So I'm not gonna pack it. 1, 2. Okay, I'm sorry. 3, 4, 5. Wow, that looks like so much right now. That looks like so much right. 6 tablespoons. What the fuck? That looks like so much. That's like a lot. And then also, I think it was, gosh, was it last week or the weekend before? There was news of a massacre in the Negros region of the Philippines. So when you see it written out, it's going to look like a word that we shouldn't be using. So I'm just going to preface that right now. It definitely looks like a word that we shouldn't be using. Pretty sure the Filipino people did not name this region. Pretty sure the Spaniards did. So do with that what you will. But so Negros Occidental, right? Mom?
There's Oriental and Occidental.
Okay. So I need to confirm whether it was Negros Oriental or Negros Occidental. But in the Negros region, there was a massacre of not only student activists, but of like fucking people who live off the land. You know what I mean? So you'll either see, if you look it up, Negros 19, which again, yes, it looks that way, and colonization, okay? Negros 19 or Toboso 19, Toboso 19. And it'll, there is a Filipino American activist named Kai. There is a Filipina student activist from the Philippines named Alyssa Alano. Alano, not Milano, like fucking who's the boss? Okay? Alyssa Alano, and there's a student activist, or I think he was also a student activist, RJ Ledesma. And then I think there were like 600 people of that region that were murdered. And if you heard earlier in the year, there was a bombing where Chantal Ikoche was, and she was released, but we don't know, if the AFP did anything to her or interrogated her or threatened her or coerced her. We don't know, right? We don't know. So that's just another thing to think about, and how that all ties back to like red tagging, because this could be another version of red tagging. So if you don't know what red tagging was a thing that happened during martial law. So people who were talking out against the government, against fascism, right? The government red tagged them. You can look them up. You can look up what that means. There's a couple of different articles that are pretty good at explaining it. And so they're basically a target of the government, and they either get harassed or kidnapped or tortured, murdered, and that was a big thing during martial law. Okay, so basically anyone who tries to speak up for human rights, or like, it happens a lot when people try to help the agricultural people of the Philippines. It happens a lot to activists that help people living and working off the land for whatever reason. It's weird because it's like, bitch, don't you have to eat? Why are you trying to attack the people that are feeding you? But yeah, so it usually happens in these regions where activists get harmed, if not murdered, for trying to help the people that the government is not helping. So much like how shit is working everywhere else, but this is definitely more military backed. The AFP is the military Armed Forces Philippines is what AFP stands for. So separate pan, butter, flour, meow meow meow, reduced heat. Well, you're already kind of low. Add the curry powder, stir well. Okay, so I'm not measuring out the curry powder. we're just gonna do that, and then I'm gonna add garam masala because I can, because I have it. So we're just gonna add some more. I'm sure it's got a decent amount of turmeric in there, so I'm not gonna add more turmeric. But why not? Okay. And then I'll just add a little bit of paprika because I can't. Oh, or a lot. And black pepper because why not? Okay, there we go. There we go. I'm using a rice ladle because I just felt like it. Okay. Now this was the pan I used to make esquites last night, but not really because it wasn't esquites because it was mixed vegetables and not just corn. So there's like probably just essence of vegetable left in here, which is fine, you know. And a little. But yeah. So Japanese curry is different from desi curry, okay? Not the same. All of it's delicious. But I would probably have to say desi curry is like the OG curry. And then everything else is a branch or variation of like South Asian curry. And I'm saying South Asian because again, I don't really know if like origin would be like India, Bangladesh. I'm pretty sure Sri Lanka is included in South Asia. Or are they Southeast Asian? See, I'm not even good with the geography all the time either. Right? If we find some recipes for stuff that I think the whole family will enjoy, then we'll probably try to do Central or Northern Asian cuisine. Or like something Uyghur or Turkish. Maybe I can do like some Turkish coffee because my mom likes coffee. That might, that might work. Okay. Add water, bring to a boil. Oh shit. Okay. Sure. I didn't do that. Whoopsies. Not that I really think it needs it, but probably need it for the roux. Now this I'm just doing by whatever. Probably needed less than that according to the recipe, but whatever. Okay. Bring it to a boil. All right. So let me just cover you and let that, and then I'm going to lower this. Reduce heat. Turn off heat and add the chutney, ketchup, and salt. Oh, okay. All right. So now we're going to get really interesting. Oh yeah, I did. I put the pronunciation situation. It's Negros. So people don't think I'm trying to like go back to the 1950s and be a piece of shit. Are you about to microwave?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're at a pausing point, thank goodness. I'm gonna take y'all to the other room. And then we will do the rest of this curry situation. All right, so we're gonna wait for the stuff to boil, but we're not near the stove, so I mean, if it boils for a little bit, that's fine. But they're gonna. Yes, Mom, I need to not be in the kitchen with the phone because it will kill the stream. The phone is my camera. Oh, thank you. Sorry for fucking ear blasting you. My bad. Let's see. Okay, mouth washing. I don't think there's any games I can really. Oh yeah, I asked somebody. I saw a carrier. Uh, Tuesday, May 5th. So it's 2 days later. I saw a carrier on Craigslist. One of my friends is like super into Craigslist. But that still kind of freaks me out, you know. But this was actually kind of nearby. And I said that they could text me at a particular phone number, but I don't think they texted because I was looking at that phone number and I didn't see anything. I was like, okay. Let me see. Sent. Yeah, okay. I can be texted at such and such number, but I didn't get any texts. So like I don't really know what's going on there. I got like notifications from that phone number, but I didn't see any text messages. So I'm just like, okay. So we're trying to get the mom cat spayed in June, and then we're gonna try to get the kittens spayed in July. But realistically, I can only do them one at a time. So I don't know if I don't know if I should make another goal for like Kofi or whatever, to see if people want to help me spay and neuter these cats. I got a kennel. I paid like $70 for a kennel so that they could all fit in there because the Orkin people are coming and I really don't need them to be accidentally like licking or putting their paws and stuff. So that's gonna be later today. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. Because I thought they were gonna spray yesterday. They came yesterday for a like I guess like a quote or whatever. And so they didn't spray. And the mom cat really did not like being in a crate. So I don't know if something happened or she's just claustrophobic. But she was stressed the fuck out. I gave her so many treats. I gave her so many treats and she still would not chill the fuck out. And I was like, oh my god. Um, and it was a big enough kennel where everybody could fit in there because they're kittens, right? I put a litter box in there just in case they might be stressed out and like spray or something. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how they're gonna react, right? So I put toys in there. I put catnip in there. I put so many things in there. The kittens kind of like passed out, and I don't know if that's because like three of them were climbing the wall because they were really interested in climbing, and maybe they just got tired, or they were like, "This is a stressful situation. I'm just gonna sleep." It could really be one of it could honestly be either or. So that's kind of where we are with that. I fed them earlier. Um, I think I'm gonna feed them again before because we have an appointment this afternoon, so I'm gonna feed them then. And then when we get back, it should probably be time for the, organ situation, which case I will put food in the crate so they get in there, you know? Ugh. They're kind of like weird about the toys right now, so I don't know what that's all about. Uh Hopefully it'll be fine. But yeah. So like ketchup. Y'all done?
No.
Okay. Let me see what I can. Oh yeah. Okay, let's look at the history behind Japanese curry. History behind Japanese curry, so we can know the origins for everybody. How about that? And then we'll look at Filipino stuff. Origins of Metropolis, Japan, Jetro Go, Tanuki stories. Sure. Okay, no. Japanese curry, Bengali man. I think he was Bengali. I'm trying to I'm pretty sure I heard this story. Okay, there we go. There we go. Here we go. How a revolutionary from Bengal got Japan hooked to Indian curry. Love spice and a man named Bose. Pallavi Iyer, don't know if I'm mispronouncing that, I'm so sorry, tracks the Desi origins of a popular dish in her new book, Orienting an Indian in Japan. This is from 2021. Excerpts. Curry is as much a Japanese dish as chicken Manchurian is an Indian one. Gonna have to look into that later. Or to put it another way, Japanese curry is to Indian food what chicken Manchurian is to Chinese food. A vague relative. Oh, interesting. The history of the dish in Japan dated to the 1870s when naval officers of the British Royal Navy had picked up the curry habit in India, passed it on to colleagues in Japan's Imperial Maritime Forces. Well, again, South Asia is the origin. The earliest recipes for rice kar, literally rice curry, in Japanese cookbooks were lifted from the 1861 Mrs. Beeton's Book of Household Management, whose curry ingredient lists include curry powder, flour, and chopped sour apples. Oh, so that's the whole apple thing. Okay. Since the novelty dish came from Britain, as far as the Japanese were concerned, curry rice was Western, and it became a regular item at yoshuku or Western food restaurants. Even today, the Japanese Navy keeps its tradition of Curry Fridays, where all Navy canteens offer raisukan as a Friday staple. The taste of the Japanese version of curry is sweeter and its texture more glutinous than its Indian ancestor. But there is one restaurant in Tokyo that prides itself in serving authentic India curry. No wheat, no apples, and no holds bar on the chili. Nakamuraya. Nakamuraya. Just how this came to be involves a rip-roaring yarn featuring a revolutionary fugitive from India, a love affair, and an entrepreneurial Japanese family of bakers. Rash Bahari Bose and his Japanese wife, Toshiko. It began with a Bengali Rash Bahari Bose, or Bose, who was born in 1886 in a village called Subaldaha. God, I hope. I'm sorry. After finishing high school, Bose applied for a job in the army, but was rejected as the British, who ruled India at the time, viewed Bengalis as effete and unmasculine. So I guess they mean effeminate. I guess that's another conjugation. By this time, the young man's imagination and was aflame with anti-colonial ideas acquired during the agitation during the partition of Bengal in 1905. He worked at the Forest Research Institute in Dehradun, for a while, but in 1912 became involved in an attempted assassination of the Viceroy Lord Hardinge. As the colonial authorities closed in on him, he fled to Japan in 1915. I can't imagine the route for that. He made his way to the city of Kobe under the assumed name of P.S. Thakur, pretending to be a relative of Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore, from whom Bose had read was planning a trip to Japan. So clever. From Kobe, he immediately set out for Tokyo, where he befriended a number of Indians affiliated with the Ghadar Party, an anti-British outfit, let's go, that was originally founded by Punjabi sheiks in North America. Are y'all done microwaving?
No.
He also met with Sun Yat-sen, the great Chinese nationalist, then also in exile in Japan. Eventually, he made the acquaintance of a number of Japanese Pan-Asianists who were sympathetic to the cause of Indian independence, notably right-wing politician Mitsuru Toyama. Interesting. Initially, Bose continued to use the pseudonym, but his cover was blown when an arms shipment to his compatriots in India, arranged from Shanghai with the help of Sun Yat-sen, was intercepted in Singapore. The shipment's paper trail exposed Bose's true identity, and the British embassy in Tokyo, acting under the terms of the Anglo-Japanese alliance, sued for his extradition. At this point, Toyama introduced Bose to the Soma family, owners of a well-known bakery in Nakamuraya. The family allowed the Indian to hide out at their bakery for several months, during which time Soma's eldest daughter, Toshiko, acted as his interpreter. Eventually, on Toyama's request, the two got married in 1918, a move that allowed Bose to move around Tokyo without attracting as much suspicion, and paved the way for his acquisition of Japanese citizenship in 1923. The couple had 2 kids, a boy and a girl, in quick succession before Toshiko died of pneumonia in 1925. Anyway, okay, so now we know the origin story. So it was a Bengali guy who was against colonial bullshit. So it was not appropriated. And yay. Anti-colonial. We had anti-colonial South Asian guy. All right. Okay, so now we need to add the ketchup. So I'm just gonna add however many ketchup packets I think to the to this, right? So let's just, I was gonna add banana ketchup, but I want to use these packets up. So that's why we're gonna use the ketchup packets. Okay, and then I'm gonna add some of this yuzu tea, which again, not mango, right? So this might end up a little interesting, but that's okay. How much chutney did you want anyway? A tablespoon? 2 tablespoons of ketchup? That should be fine. Okay, so let me open this up. Also, I really like yuja-cha, or like this yuzu situation. Also, it does have fruit pulp, so like texture-wise, if they said chutney for texture, then hopefully like this is okay. It's not a direct substitute. Obviously, they're two different fruits. But, you know, should be interesting. Okay. And so, meow, 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 meow. Simmer. Wait. Okay. Until well mixed. Okay, so we just mix it up. And now this is boiling, right? It was boiling while we weren't looking. Fantastic. I love that it did that for us. Okay. So we're just mixing this up. Okay, that looks cute. That looks good. All right. Now, add the roux to the pot in 2 or 3 batches, stirring well each time until it dissolves. Simmer on low heat until the curry thickens. Got it. That means we're almost done. Do we have rice today? No, we don't. That's okay. That doesn't bother me. So, said 2 to 3 batches, right? Okay, so oh. Want to gently stir because these potatoes are very fragile. So, let's just the carrots too, because like they're already cooked and they're in a can, you know what I mean? They're pretty fragile. So we don't want to go too rough when we're mixing this all in. Okay, what was the other Filipino thing I need? Okay, Negros 19 / Toboso 19 and Yakub, which I'm pretty sure I have an automated message for Yakub. We did have an automated message for Chantal, but she was released. So we took down that message. But there are quite a few oh, that's the other thing in the Philippines. If you look up Chabad House in Siargao, Siargao, you should be able to find an article talking about how the people of the Philippines, the people of Siargao, are opposing Chabad House being built. So it's like Israeli people trying to colonize some shit in the Philippines is basically what's happening. So you can read that. If you don't read Tagalog like me, there's this thing called translation. You can use this thing on the internet called like translation apps or translation websites, and you can translate. I know not everybody has translation services for Tagalog because people are like that. You know what I mean? People, I guess, don't see Tagalog as like a language that most people use. You know what I mean? But there are apps out there where you can translate Tagalog into English. Those things exist. Google does that. As much as I don't want you to use Google, but Google does, you know. DeepL, I don't think does. So, you know what I mean? Ooh, look how thick it is. Oh, that looks so good. Look how thick that is. That's not even all of it yet. Oh, wow, that's awesome. I don't know, should I add more water? I mean, I like a thick curry, so I'm like, you know, like this is fine, but I wonder if I should add more water. Hold on. Just Okay. But look at this. We also put it, we're like on super low heat on this burner. So just FYI, very, very, very low heat. Okay, I feel like maybe I should add more water. I'm just gonna add a little bit more water. I like thick, but it is a lot thick. So we'll make sure to cook out this water. Wow, it's so thick. That's amazing. Wow. Wow. I love how this turned out. Now that we still still need to taste it because we put yuzu tea instead of mango chutney. So, you know what I mean? It looks correct, but it might still be weird because of my improvisation, you know? But I feel like it'll be okay. But at the same time, like it doesn't matter because I'm gonna eat it anyway. You know what I mean? Like if you need to improv, but um, if you're cooking for other people, like keep them in mind too. But if you're just cooking for yourself and you're experimenting and you're gonna eat it anyway, then fuck it. You know what I mean? Be brave, right? Be brave. Try something. Try something you didn't try before, and then you can figure out if you don't like it or not. You know what I mean? Because you're not gonna like everything. You said it's banana monin? Yeah. I'll show you. I got. So for that drink I did earlier, it was this, which to the best of my knowledge is not problematic. Oh, it's problematic. So this is problematic, but we'll figure something out when we run out of this because it's pretty sure Kraft and Heinz is problematic for various reasons. Um, and then I added banana monin and and cinnamon and cinnamon. So the recipe on the monin bottle says Banana Foster's light latte. Sorry, 1 ounce, a half ounce of Monin banana. Sorry, syrup. Half ounce Monin caramel syrup. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna buy a whole thing of caramel syrup just for this. 2 shots of espresso in a 16-ounce cup. Stir while filling with steamed milk. Sprinkle with cinnamon powder. So that sounds really interesting. Except I know I don't like caramel enough to do that. And then the other one is a Funky Monkey Mocha. Half ounce of Monin banana syrup, 1 ounce Monin dark chocolate sauce. Didn't even know they had a dark chocolate sauce. 2 shots espresso in a 16-ounce cup. Stir while filling with steamed milk. Top with whipped cream. Drizzle on Monin dark chocolate sauce. Add a banana chip. We're not gonna do all that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna fucking steam milk because I don't have I don't have the equipment for that, and even if I did, I wouldn't. Because I already know myself. I'm not that fancy. And I feel like I would hurt myself. I've seen people injure themselves with like milk steamers. No thanks. Also, we don't have an espresso machine, but I love I like chocolate, like hot chocolate with amaretto. So I felt like this is gonna be pretty good, right? Because I usually don't drink coffee. I like the taste of coffee, but I don't really drink coffee. So for me, hot chocolate would be good, right? So that's what I did. I did that with hot chocolate. Do I have to wait a little bit? Serve over rice and enjoy. Okay, well, we don't have any rice, and that's fine. Let me spoon out some of this so I can show you. Oh, my eye. My eye was itchy. But yeah, I was like, oh, banana monin. You know what I want to do with this banana monin then? I want to fucking make banana milk. That's what I really wanted to do. So. We will eventually use this to make banana milk with all sorts of various milks. You know, dairy or dairy free, you know? So that's what we're planning on doing. So, oh my god, you look so good. Or maybe we should move you over here. Look at that. Look at that. So cute. There we go. Love it. Now we're gonna wait a little bit because obviously we just cooked it. It's hot, right? We're not trying to hurt ourselves. In the meantime, I'm going to rinse out some of the cans. Okay, that looks good. And make sure if they're, yep. You too, right? Yeah, you two are magnetic. There's different pricing for aluminum cans versus metal cans. So like you have to separate them out or you don't get the same price. One will sell more than the other, so it's very important to separate. So that's what we're doing just now. I'm gonna go ahead and put the ketchup packets away because we don't need them right now anymore. Let's see. I'm gonna put the monin away. So I thought like this would be really cute for like mock cocktails or like coffee or hot cocoa based drinks.
70%.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on the charger. But you know, like banana milk is always really popular. But I'm not gonna try to make banana milk. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna try. That's a little I feel too advanced because I feel like trying to get banana flavor is really hard in a very general sense. So I'm not gonna try to do that. I'm gonna leave that to professionals. In like a, commercial setting. You know what I mean? I can make coffee milk all day because I can make a coffee syrup. That's much more doable. Banana syrup is not something that I feel like I can realistically execute. So I'm not gonna try because that just seems really, really advanced. So I'm gonna leave that for people with the know-how and the technology and the equipment to make banana flavor, because I'm sure we've all had like banana flavored candy at some point or taffy. Bro, that usually doesn't taste like fucking banana. So, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to do that. I'll leave it to the people who can and who have successfully done it and let them do the thing. Let them do the thing. So let me go ahead and start washing the things that need to get washed. Banana too good, yeah. I'm a big fan of like strawberry milk and coffee milk. And if they could make a white peach milk, I would be really into that. I haven't seen that. I mean, Calpis, Calpis, is probably the closest that I can get to like a white peach milk type drink, you know? But it's also not. You know? Okay, that feels like the water got hot. So now we're gonna scrub stuff and put it all in the basin so they can all get washed at the same time. Minus the knife. We're gonna hold off on the knife for a little bit because you should not soak knives. We're also trying not to soak the wooden rice paddle because you shouldn't soak wood either because it's gonna damage the wood. You know? So this is gonna be my food for a while. If I decide I want to add meat to it, then I will. I'm probably gonna do another cooking stream tonight after the orkin situation. So, because we have some chicken in the fridge. All right, now we're gonna do the wood. Oh. So sometimes when Filipinos talk about all the fuck ass shit that's happening, both in the Philippines and either in the Philippines or in America, sometimes there's a lot of pushback online or like people mocking them for talking about it. Like you could be talking about people being murdered and people will have like a laugh emoji react to it if you're like on Facebook, for example. So, there are a lot of people that are Magapinos. There's also just like, maybe you've heard of Hasbara, like the propaganda that Israel does uh, to make it seem like the genocide is to make it seem like the genocide is necessary to make it seem like the Palestinians deserve to be genocided, to be ethnically cleansed and stuff like that. Um, that all of that is justified or whatever, and like other like falsehoods and misleading tricks, right? Like maybe you've heard of Hezbollah. The Philippines has something very similar to it, but I don't really think it has a name. But when people talk about all the fuck ass shit that happens in the Philippines and in America, and they're met with other Filipinos that are like laughing about it or mocking them, it makes me think of Hezbollah. Like straight up. It makes me think of Hezbollah immediately. Because it's like, you're talking about people being murdered. You're talking about your people being murdered for standing up for the people who work in agriculture that are like the farmers, right? People that are standing up for farmers and then you're laughing about it. Like, what the fuck, bro? bitch, don't you have to eat too? First of all. And it's like that's a very inhumane response to people being murdered. People being murdered and you want to laugh about it? That's fucking weird, you know? So I remember one time, you know, when people started realizing collectively, when people started realizing collectively how black people are indiscriminately targeted or not, well, also indiscriminately, but like disproportionately targeted, harassed, and murdered by the police. Can you wait a second? Because my hands are wet. Is someone gonna die if you don't microwave right now? I still need to move the phone. Okay. I'm gonna put that article I was reading off of into the chat so y'all can look into it if you want to. It's a really nice article. It's also a very long link. It's like a super long link. But yeah, I'm gonna wait till they're done microwaving. We already did all the dishes pretty much, minus the big pot. And then I have to wait for that big pot to cool because we don't do ice baths in my family. So if you don't know what an ice bath is, an ice bath is when, let's say you just cooked something and it's fucking hot, obviously, because you just cooked it. And you need to cool that fucking shit off really quickly. You can fill in a basin, usually your kitchen sink, like plug it up, right? Fill your kitchen sink with some ice. And then put your pot of whatever it is that you fucking made in that thing of ice. Maybe add some salt if you want to, make it extra cold for an extra long time. And cool down your food that way before you put it into the fridge. So that's an option. A lot of people do ice baths. I'm not in a food setting where it's pressing to immediately put the food in the fridge. So I don't do ice baths for me. Usually we can wait. But we do have this organ situation happening later this afternoon. So I wanted to cook before that and after that. So that's why I did this now so I could have it for me. And then whenever I feel like fucking making rice, like I'll make rice. But I'm not super pressed to make rice. I don't really eat rice that much, and it already has fucking potatoes. So it has like a full ass can of potatoes. So it's weird to eat curry without rice. Like honestly, it feels weird to eat it without rice. Just like it feels weird to eat adobo without rice, but I've done it. I've done both. You know what I mean? I've done both. So like it feels weird, but you can do it. It's okay. Like if you don't have rice, it's fine. It just feels a little weird if you don't. So you done? So something to consider. Also, let's say you have leftover something savory with a sauce, right? Because like with curry, you have sauce, right? With adobo, depending on how you make it, you have sauce. I like to make my adobo to the point where it is saucy, more like a broth or a gravy, right? That's a personal preference, right? You can eat that with, sorry, oatmeal. I often do that with oatmeal. You know, because a lot of people are like, oh my god, savory oatmeal. I was like, okay, well, just eat it with your leftover adobo. Then it's savory. Ba-bam! You know? Because usually in the morning you have enough time to nuke some fucking oatmeal. You don't have time to make a whole ass thing of rice. If you're trying to, like, get out the house and go to work and not be stuck in traffic. Right? You have 3 minutes for oatmeal. You don't have 30 minutes for rice. So. Okay, those potato slices are still too big. It feels a little light on the flavoring, so maybe I needed to add more curry paste powder? The yuzu isn't coming out in a way that's interrupting anything. So I don't know if that was partially to thicken it and also sweeten it when it already has, like, ketchup. But yeah, that's not bad. I probably need to add more curry powder. I think that's what's happening here because it's a little light on the curry taste. So thanks Bangladesh, because without Bangladesh, we would not have Japanese curry. You know what I mean? I forgot the story. And then I was like, wait. Not appropriated. Not appropriated. But desi curry is the OG curry. Everything else is a variation. So. Okay. Oh! Okay. I got some of the yuzu pulp. Okay, that is a little distracting from the overall curry taste, but it's not gonna hurt my feelings. And as I eat it, I feel like it tastes more curry-y. It doesn't taste as light. So maybe it was just, maybe the spoonful I got was not mixed well enough. Maybe that was a skill issue. Because that could also be it, you know what I mean? So, thanks Bangladesh. Thanks India. For letting us have Japanese curry. You know what I mean? Thank you for making that happen for us, because I've always liked I like all curries, okay? As long as, like, it's within my spice tolerance, because, like, there's certain spice levels and variations that my body doesn't deal with well. So oh my god, delicious. Okay. Okay. Very happy with how this turned out. Time. It's 12:03. We have time for me to potentially do another stream. Because there's a stream I want to do. But I would have to end this stream and start another one. We could raid Eat It Dad's. Because he just started-ish, I think. Because I just saw him pop up in the feed. Oh, you know what? We should see if there's any Asian people in the feed. Hold on. Okay, we're gonna raid Death by Button Mash because I'm pretty sure UAE is West Asia, and I'm pretty sure he's in UAE. I think. Let's see. Okay, no. Okay, no. Wait. Sorry. How do I... Oh. That's not what I wanted. I wanted the stream manager. You can only change the camera orientation before going live. Fine, but can I... Hi, can I not? Oh my god, what? I didn't know there was a BRB thing built in. Raid channel. Let me raid. Okay. Oh my god. Phone. D E A. Okay, hold on. Death. Why is it not populating? Death by... These names don't even have fucking... There we go. Okay. Okay. So this should be happening. All right. I think Death by Button Mash is really nice and really funny. And for someone who doesn't live here, he's very aware of America's bullshit. So I think he's really cool. If you're in like the retro or speed gaming community, I think he has a lot of retro and speed running friends, but he's not a speed runner. He's just a cool guy on the internet. Okay. So everybody, thank you so much. If you can, please email and/or call your reps about a lot of things. Age gating and age verification might be a really good starting point. If you're from Texas and you care about Muslim people, there's probably a lot of things you can email and talk to the AG and Abbott about, because where's my hand? Where's my hand? Why don't I see my hand on the camera? Okay, bye.
In my opinion. Belle, don't do this! Belle, leave! I don't, Belle, thank you for the raid. We're talking about turn the stream off. Being the only one wearing a mask and flies cook people, because like when you're the